Champions are not born, they're forged. This is about turning the ordinary into undisputed. Available now. Ade Oladipo, brought to you by Undisputed.
Morning peeps, good morning everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. Shout out as always to the channel sponsor, Undisputed. Thank you so much to them for the continued support. All right, as you guys know, I'm in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. I got here Sunday evening. Quite a lot to tell you about my trip so far. I did the face-off yesterday for a Talma versus White, which was interesting. I think it might be up already, but nonetheless, I'll give you my unedited thoughts on it. A few big stories to run through as well. Before we get into all of that though, very quickly, I do want to say thank you again for helping the channel get to 100,000 subscribers. It's a massive number. I got there a lot quicker than I expected to. So thank you to all the new subscribers, all the old school ones as well. The plaque is on its way. You know, I didn't know. I thought as soon as you get to 100,000, they just automatically send you the plaque out, but it doesn't work like that. You've actually got to apply for it. And then they do a scan of your channel. I'm guessing they're checking for like, I don't know, bots and dodgy views and maybe dodgy subscribers. But yeah, we got the thumbs up and the plaque's on its way. So I will definitely be making a video of me opening that box because I've been waiting and dreaming about that plaque for ages. So thank you again. And lastly, the live that I'm doing, the live show, September 4th, King's Place, they reached out to us and basically said that we've sold out. It was a small venue. I think it was like 250, the capacity, but they've got a bigger venue and they've said, do we want the bigger venue? And I'm like, fuck it, let's do it. So we're going to the bigger venue, which is so nice. And I think the capacity of that one is like 450. So there are now more tickets available. The link is in the description. I was so nervous that we wouldn't be able to fill the smaller venue. I am now shitting myself that we won't be able to do the bigger venue. So look, if you can, please come. It will be fun, I promise you. And it'll be good to see a lot of you guys as well. Again, tickets, the link to the tickets is in the description. All right, let's have a look and see what there is to talk about today. Jaron Ennis heading back to Philadelphia to fight Usman Lima in junior middleweight bout. I'll be honest, I've never heard of that guy. I never heard of him. I did see the announcement on Twitter from Matchroom, and I immediately went to the comment section, and people aren't too happy. I think Eddie would have expected and should expect a bit of blowback because there are so many big names in the 154-pound division. I think we expected to see him in with one of the names, right? I will say this though, in defense of Eddie, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes in terms of these fighters pricing themselves out. It's true. I think Josh Kelly, or at least Adam Booth, mentioned that he wanted a certain number for Josh Kelly to go and fight. I think there've been other talks about other fighters wanting a big number as well. So we don't know who he's offered the fight to, and they're like, nah, it's sort of pay me more. We don't know. And maybe there's a budget. Maybe there's a limit to how far they can go. So look, that's my only excuse for Jaron Ennis. You guys know who I want to see Ennis fight, and that's Virgil Ortiz, and we're hearing that fight's gonna happen at the start of the new year. So providing that happens, I'm not super mad that he's fighting someone that we don't really recognize as one of the top dogs for his first fight at 154 pounds. Again, did I want a big name like you guys? Yes. There is no excuse not to fight a big name. The only excuse, so I'm kind of contradicting myself here, is that we don't know how many fighters have turned this down because they wanted more money. That's it. And I'm sure Eddie, once he realizes the blowback that this announcement has got, I'm sure Eddie will interview, or someone will interview Eddie, and he will list out the fighters that have turned this fight down because of money. That's what I'm expecting anyway. Andre Ward throws his hat into the ring in Anthony Joshua's sweepstakes. This is now getting crazy. How many fighters are calling out AJ? You know, Edgar Berlanga called out AJ after losing to Canelo. So after losing to a super middleweight, Edgar Berlanga, I remember it on Twitter, I remember it. He called out AJ. Now, Andre Ward, who's not fought, I can't remember the last time, when was it, 5 years ago? Maybe longer? Andre Ward, who has not fought for 5 years, thinks he's going to somehow call out a former unified heavyweight champion that I don't think is done. Like, I'm not having the, oh, AJ's done and he's chinny and all these people are calling him out because of that. No, not for me. And obviously Jake Paul. We're going to get to the Jake Paul one in a minute. What AJ needs to do, and I said this on Twitter, AJ needs to get in the ring and fuck someone up. And I'm not talking about these guys, I'm talking about a legit heavyweight. And this will stop all the call-outs. These people aren't just calling out AJ because it's big money. I think AJ responded saying payday, payday. It's not because of that. Because they're not calling out Tyson Fury. They're calling out AJ because they think they can beat AJ. Like Edgar Berlanga called him delirious, thought he could beat AJ. Andre Ward most certainly thinks he can beat AJ. And again, some of the comments underneath this video are like, well, you know what, AJ is kind of chilly now. I'm like, have we gone mad? Like Andre Ward, who really was a super middleweight. I know he campaigned, he had a couple of fights at lightweight, but he's a career super middleweight, thinks that he can somehow go up to heavyweight and beat AJ. This isn't a Roy Jones Ruiz thing. This ain't that. AJ isn't Ruiz and Andre Ward isn't Roy Jones. But again, they're looking at AJ and thinking AJ is done. They're thinking AJ has gone off meat. It's crazy. Honestly, it's crazy. And again, to go back to they're doing it because AJ is a payday. They're not calling out Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is a payday. No one's calling him out. They're calling out AJ because they think they can get the job done. And I find that wild. Let's talk about the Jake Paul thing. Guys, this isn't going away. This is a real thing. I hope you guys know this. This isn't a joke thing. This isn't, ain't gonna happen. This is a real thing. Nikisa, who looks after Jake Paul and MVP Promotions, has come on Sky Sports. When did he go on? Last week, saying this is a real thing. Eddie Hearn has said this is a real thing. Jake Paul was with Turkey in Wembley. This is a real thing. I think people are thinking, oh, this is some sort of silly call out that's never gonna happen. Jake Paul was this close to fighting Canelo. This guy seems to want the smoke. And the only person that could stop this fight from happening is AJ. Because everyone else will realize the dollar signs, the zeros on the end of people's checks are gonna be incredible. Because this fight will do incredible numbers, I'm guessing on Netflix, and everyone will eat. AJ's the only person that will be like, don't fancy it. But I have now come to the realization that if I'm at AJ, I take it. And people might shit on me for saying that. Like, AJ's a prize fighter. He's won every single prize you can in boxing apart from the WBC belt. So, and the ring belt. But ultimately, he's already fulfilled his dream of becoming a unified heavyweight champion of the world. For AJ now, surely it's about that. Unless he's got this quest to become a three-time heavyweight world champion, which I would like him to do, but I don't know if that's a thing. So if AJ, and I've said this about so many fighters, like there will be a name, and attached to that name that comes across the table will be a number. And it'll be, okay, we can maybe make that number from fighting that name. So as much as I say Bakoli will come across the table and it's like, okay, that's a very risky fight. And the number is, let's just be conservative here and say 15 million, right? AJ won't fight for that, but let's be conservative. Tony Yoka, 10 million. Who else is there? Dubois rematch, big fight, 30 million. Jake Paul, 100. What? Do you understand the logic and why I'm saying that I think AJ might take it and why I wouldn't blame AJ? So you want me to fight that guy who got beat by Tommy Fury and didn't look great against Julio Cesar Chavez? You want me to fight him instead of those guys and you're willing to pay me 100 million? Give me that fight right now. I deal with that fight in about a minute and then I can go on to fight those guys. So that's where it could happen. Again, AJ's about his money. Why wouldn't he be? Every single trust me when I say this, every single fighter out there on planet Earth would fight Jake Paul. So why should I shit on AJ for wanting to do it as well? I can't. Every single fighter would do it because they know that check is crazy and the risk is not crazy, right? Every other fighter would look at him and think, huh? That novice, give me that right now. And whereas Jake Paul has had a bit of a size advantage with some of his fights, right? Obviously, I mean, AJ is 50 pounds bigger, hits harder. Like, that's the thing with Jake Paul, isn't it? He could knock you out. AJ hits harder by some distance. So if I'm AJ, and this is why I guess it's not going away, you are starting to think, I could literally do this in December and fight someone else in January. And this isn't, you know, when people say, oh, Ade, you're discrediting Jake. Well, I'm not discrediting, it's fact. Like, stop there being, oh, you're discrediting shit, it's fact. That's what AJ could do. So I genuinely think that this is a real thing. This is a real thing, people. And I would actually go as far as saying this is the front runner for who AJ fights next, because the check is so much bigger than fighting anyone else. The only check that could be comparable is Fury, and that don't look like it's going to happen. So what do? Do you fight a Tony Yoka? I mean, do you? Do you fight a Bacoli? Do you fight Dubois? I mean, what do you do? Do you fight a Talma? What do you do? Or do you fight Jake Paul? It's crazy, but you might fight Jake Paul. My worry is for Jake Paul. I genuinely have worry for him going into this fight. Like genuine worry. Like AJ could really hurt him. And if AJ isn't holding back, that's not a good thing. Like, it could really hurt him. Whereas, I mean, look, could Jake Paul swing and land one? Maybe, but I don't see it happening in a million years. Like, I'm not joking. If AJ were to fight Jake Paul and somehow Jake lands one, I would probably move to Nigeria and disable my account. I'm not even playing, because there would be no comeback for me. And you know what? I think AJ would come with me. We'd both just move to Nigeria, to the most remote village, and just live out our lives as happy men. That ain't happening. All right. All right. The fight card for Canelo Crawford has been announced. Right. People aren't very happy about it. I'm not mad at Christian Mbili versus Lester Martinez. It's funny because they're doing a fight on the Wednesday, right? And there's a lot of talk about it being Jarrell Miller versus Michael Hunter. That's the fight you need on this card. That's strange. Like couple of those fights that have been announced, you think, okay, they should go to the Wednesday. But again, I'm just interested in Canelo Crawford. And I said this the other day, I think to G-Man, I really couldn't care who's on this undercard. I'm not joking. I just want to see Canelo Crawford play out. The undercard is like, whatever. I couldn't care. If I'm at home, and I will be, because it's a Netflix one, so I'm not working on it. If I'm at home, I'm having a bit of a party after Paddy Donovan, Lewis Crocker, and there's a few drinks, and I will drink, and eat until Canelo Crawford comes on. I'm not too invested in an undercard when the main event is that fucking crazy. All right, what's this? Oh, what's this? Report that Tony Yoka could face AJ in Ghana. Okay, 1 second. What's going on here? What is going on here? Okay, this is interesting. You know what's interesting about this, by the way, is that Frank Smith is in Ghana. Like Frank Smith, Matchroom, you guys know who he is now in Ghana. I saw it and I was like, what's Frank Smith doing in Ghana? Couldn't quite work it out. Let me tell you this now, yeah? Let me tell you this now. I would be so angry if that were to happen. If AJ was to fight in Ghana, no disrespect to my Ghanaian people, you know I love you, instead of fighting in Nigeria, after I've been screaming about AJ to do something chaos in... No. Sorry, no. Nope. I'd revoke his Nigerian passport. I'd revoke it. All right, should we quickly talk about, before we wrap, Dillian White, Moses the Talma, the face-off I did yesterday. I don't know if it's up. Those things, though, are edited so well, and they put on this like music to make it seem as though it was somewhat sort of frightening and scary. Nothing really happened. I'll be honest with you guys. The only thing that really happened was, I wouldn't say Dillian White put it on me, but he wasn't too happy that I said Moses would win. And I get it. Although, to be fair, I have on this channel said, you know what, yeah, Dillian White could old man him. You know, I've kind of said these things. I even made the comparison between David Haye and Carl Thompson. So I feel like I've given Dillian White a much better chance than other reporters, journalists. But look, he's not happy about it. And I think he's not just, I think he's not happy about just all the media, right, saying Moses is going to win. But I did do it, when I did the sit-down interview, so this was separate from the face-off, I did tell him that I thought you were done after the Tete performance because you didn't look good. You didn't look good, and I can only go on that. So it isn't me trying to discredit Dillian, because I've always said to you guys, if you listen correctly, like, big fan of Dillian. Dillian reached out to me when I got the DAZN gig. He's always kind of supported me on that one. But after that Tete fight, I was like, nah, man, maybe it's just done. You know what I mean? At the time of the Tete fight, I think he was 36. So 36 is kind of fair to say a heavyweight will be winding down. Not everyone's going to be Alexander Usyk. But yeah, he wasn't too happy about that, which made me feel a bit bad, because like, I get it. You know, you feel like everyone's writing you off. I don't know if we're writing Dillian off. I think it's maybe we are so excited about who this Italma could be. But I will say this. I think there's been a bit of a swing here. Like, I think when this fight was first announced a couple of months ago, I think if you asked 100 people, 100 boxing fans, I genuinely believe 95 to 100 of them would have said Italma. I think that swung to something like 70-30 now. And that's because everyone's seen Dillian's in shape. And I'm telling you, when Dillian sat down, because there's one thing, someone looking in shape on a photo or a video. I think we've seen this with Tyson Fury and Andy Ruiz, and then they take their top off and you're like, seeing Dillian, and I was, 2 feet away from him, seeing him in that shape close up, you could see his shoulders and his bicep, the neck looked chunky as well. I was like, this brother in shape. And he did say, like, the reason, he didn't say in so many words, but I kind of got it, that the reason he wasn't in shape for Ebenezer Tete is because he doesn't need to get in shape to beat Ebenezer Tete. I think so. He has a level of respect for Italma, and that's why he's got in the shape he's got into. But yeah, he's not a happy chappy at the moment. And I think that's a good thing. I want to see an angry Dillian White. I want to see a White that's aggressive and scary. I wanted to see it in the face-off, and we didn't really get to see that. But that's okay, as long as that arrives on Saturday night, I'm not too fussed about it. Moses was cool, calm. His dad was there, the whole family were there. He's ready. I did sense a kind of realization as to, whoa, this is a big moment. Do you know what I mean? Like, this isn't an undercard of an undercard. You're now the headliner. The media requirements, and I said this, are so much more. And also, you know, he's looking at Dillian thinking, oh, Dillian's taking this fucking serious. And he would have grown up watching Dillian. That he spoke about, what did he say? He said when Dillian fought AJ was the first time he put on gloves. So basically, he's watched Dillian as a kid. That he's been watching Dillian for years. Now he's fighting someone that he's been watching. That must feel a bit strange. It must be like those players that have watched, and this is a very silly analogy, but those players that have watched Ronaldo and LeBron, and I only say this because of the close proximity in age, who are now playing with them or against them. Must be kind of strange. But yeah, look, loads more videos throughout the week. I am going to do some behind the scenes stuff, which hopefully you guys will like. That will be on the members channel. I need to do something for the members. Calm down. It's not a money fucking grab. I just need to give the members something. So yeah, I'll do that. And yeah. And then I'm going to have a break. We're having a break. When I get back, I'm going to Mykonos with the missus because we need a break. But no doubt I'll probably film out there as well. Peace.
Champions are not born. They're forged. This is about turning the ordinary into undisputed. Available now.